Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to connect to the admin interface, and that is done by clicking on my shortcut desktop. I've got an icon here called OM Linux Administration, so I double click on that. That then brings me up a web page, and I log in as OPC_ADM, and the password is capital O, lowercase p, capital C _ADM. Okay, once I'm logged in, I then click on the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the, if it hasn't given me connections to the management server, I can then click on the OMU icon, and that will connect me to the management system. And then from here, I'm going to create a message group. So the user interface, there's different, to create something you go to the edit menu, and then from here you specify what you want to create. So in this example I want to create a message group. So I go to add message group, okay, and I'm going to create a message group called Oracle. I'm going to use the same label, same description, click Save. Now I'm going to create a node group. So I go to Edit, Add Node Group. I'm going to create a node group called Oracle Servers. Okay, now I'm going to create a policy group. We use policy groups to group together policies that we use for monitoring a specific application or type of application. So to create a policy group, I go to Browse, All Policy Groups. And then from here, I want to create a policy group called Oracle Policy Group. So Edit, Add Policy Group. And I'm calling it Oracle Policy Group. Save it. Okay, so now that I've got the policy group created, I'm now going to create a policy that's going to scan a log file for an error message. So I go to Edit, Add Policy. And I click on the type of policy that I want to create. So in this example, I want to scan a log file, so I create a log file entry policy. And policies have specific sections. So you got the properties, which is where you define the name of the policy. So I'm going to call this policy Oracle Errors. I'm going to put into description that it matches Oracle Errors. And I want this policy to belong to the policy group which we've previously created. So down where it says Parent Group, I click on the drop down. And what's quite handy with the web interface is you can get it to search for things that contain certain names. So I know that the policy group I've just created contains the word Oracle. So in the Contains box I can type in Oracle, click the filter button, and it brings up the policy group or anything that contains the word Oracle. I then double click on that, or click on that, and then I can close the window. So now I can see that my policy belongs to the policy group Oracle Policy. Then in the Source tab, I'm going to specify the log file that I wanted to read and how often I wanted to read it. So the log file I want to read is a file called oracle.log. So I type in here var log oracle.log, and I want to get it read it every 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds OM is going to open this log file, And in the conditions part, I tell it what I wanted to search for, what types of lines. So I click on conditions, click on add a condition, and I have to give the condition a description, so I'm going to say match Oracle errors, and then I'm going to do a very simple condition just to get it started. I'm basically going to get it to match any line that contains the word error. If a line contains the word error, it's going to match this condition. When the condition is matched, I want to get OML to generate a message and send it to the management browser. So I click on the message tab. And these are all the attributes I can define for a message. So I'm going to give it a severity of critical. I'm then going to specify an application of Oracle, a message group of Oracle, and then in the message text, in the object field, I'm going to put in the word database. And then the message text is going to be database has shut down. So, just to recap, what I've configured so far is a policy that will check a log file. If it finds a log file with a line that contains the word error, it's going to generate a message with these attributes. Now I'm going to demonstrate something else. When this message is generated, I'm going to get it to run an automatic action and put the output of the action into the message. So I can click on Actions, click on Automatic, and the command that I want to run is ps space -ef, which will list all the processes running on the box, and I want the output of the action to be included as an annotation in the message. I'm also going to define some instructions for this operator, for this message. So I click on the Instructions tab, add the instruction text, and then the instruction text I'm going to put in is going to say connect to server and restart the database. And click Save. Okay, so just to recap, so far I've created my policy group, defined a policy that will scan a log file for error messages, and what I need to do now is I'm going to create my operator. So I go to Browse, Add User, Edit, Add User, I'm going to create an operator, and I'm going to call the operator Oracle. I'm going to give the operator a password. Password of PASS01. PASS01. And I'm going to specify that this operator can perform all available operations on messages in their browser. And click Save. Now what I need to define is what types of messages that operator will get to see in their browser. And I do that by modifying their responsibilities. So we find the operator. With this admin interface, you've got two icons. The icon that's got two squares allows you to view related information with the object that you've selected, and the icon with the wheel allows you to make modifications to the object that you've selected. So in this case, the object I've selected is an operator. The wheel the pop-up menu gives me an option to edit their responsibilities. So if I click on Edit Responsibilities, and what I have to specify here is I want to define a view which will allow me to define what types of messages the operator can view. So I click Close on that dialog box. I click Edit Selections. Cancel. I click Edit View, and then from here I can specify the node groups and message groups that I want this operator to potentially work with. So I want to give them the Oracle Servers node group, and I want to give them the Oracle message group. Click OK. So now I've defined a view from which I can define responsibilities. What I want to do is I want to allow this operator to view all messages that come from machines in the Oracle Servers group that have a message group of Oracle. So I have to tick this box here, and I click Save. So now I've defined the operator. I've defined what types of messages the operator can view. We're almost complete. The next thing I need to do is I need to assign to the node group Oracle Servers all the policies that I've defined in the policy group Oracle Policy Group. So to do that, I go to Browse, All Nodes, Browse All Node Groups, and then from here I want to assign the policy group to the node group. And what will happen is any machines which are members of that node group will have these policies installed on them. So the policy group that I want to assign them to is Oracle Servers, so I click on the wheel, and then from here I go to Assign Policies, Policy Groups. What I want to assign is a policy group rather than the individual policy. I know that the policy group again contains the word Oracle. Select the policy group that you want to assign, and then click OK. So now any node that's made a member of that policy group will have those policies automatically assigned to it. The next thing I need to do is I'm going to add a node to that node group. So I find Oracle Servers. Again, I click on the wheel or the edit option, and I want to click here Assign Nodes. I don't have many nodes in my node bank at the moment, so I'm just going to click the filter button, and the node that I want to add to it is OM Linux. Click OK, and we can see that there is now one node has been made a member of the Oracle Server node group.